Hello YouTube, it's Viva La Gomez here, and today I'm going to be doing a trailer reaction for the Assassin's Creed Unity trailer that was just released. Now I'm just going to talk a little bit before I watch the trailer. If you haven't seen it, go watch it before you see this trailer reaction. Just pause the video and go. I'll post a link down below, but make sure to go watch it before so you know what you're getting into. This will have spoilers in it from previous games because I'll talk about that. One thing that I find peculiar about this title is that it's called Assassin's Creed Unity instead of Assassin's Creed 5. Or, you know, they have the V. I'm not really sure if I like that because this is a definitive Assassin's Creed game. It will be coming out for Xbox One and PS4 and PC. Now, every numerical title that they have, they introduce a new character. You know, 1 had Altair, 2, Brotherhood and Revelations had Ezio, 3 had Connor, 4 had Edward. You know, every single one of those had a numerical subtitle attached to it, and this one doesn't. This is called Assassin's Creed Unity, and we're introducing a new assassin, so... my hopes is that they change it to Assassin's Creed 5 just to continue the trend of having the numerical titles, but you know, it doesn't really matter with the title as long as the game is good. So let me just play this video and tell you my reactions, and I'm going to discuss it afterwards and what I think it's all about. So let's get started. Peggy 18. So it's already rated. It's going to be a violent game with beheadings and guillotines because I know it's in France. The following is alpha game footage. Next gen starts here. Ubisoft. How is that alpha footage? It's a really nice plaza in the street. It looks amazing. I'm having a hard time believing that this is alpha footage. I really don't think this is. There's no way. I've never seen a game look this good in alpha footage. There's the assassin on top of the rooftop. And there's Notre Dame. There's a guillotine. Assassin's Creed Unity. If you've seen the trailer, you see how the guillotine comes down and it kind of slices, and it has the Assassin's Creed logo kind of cut in half almost with the guillotine. So that was a pretty cool trailer. It said it was alpha footage. I have a really hard time believing that is alpha footage. And if it is alpha footage, there is no way that is for the next gen consoles, PS4 and Xbox One. That has to be a maxed out PC, just to the ultimate settings for graphical capacity, because that looks incredibly good. It looks like a pre-rendered trailer. In fact, I think they're lying, to be honest. I don't think that's alpha footage. We've seen, I'm sure you've seen video game trailers before, and they've had, this is alpha footage, and you think it looks amazing. Like Watch Dogs is a good example, and they showed a trailer just recently, and it's not nearly as good as what we thought it looked. So that's one thing I don't think is true. I don't think it's alpha footage, but you know, I'm not all about graphics. I'm more about gameplay. Assassin's Creed 4 looks fine enough to me. You know, I think Assassin's Creed hasn't always been known for its excellent graphics. I just don't think it's one of those kind of games. It's more for the story and the gameplay. So we know it's set in France now. I had a video, just a previous video a few days ago about where it was going to be set and the leaked images and all that. We know it's going to be set in Paris now. I'm not sure if it can go to other parts of Europe, maybe, you know, other parts of France. I really hope it does, like Assassin's Creed 2. And then in the description it says they were working on this for 3 years. Now that is a long time to be working on Assassin's Creed games. Normally the Assassin's Creed games only get 2 years of development, so 3 years probably means a lot more content, a bigger story. Like I know Black Flag had 2 years of development, so, and that was chock full of content. So hopefully in Assassin's Creed Unity we get to go to other French cities, similar to Assassin's Creed 2, where you know, have a large city, you take your horse and there's different, you know, trails that lead out from a center city or something like Florence or Venice, and you can go to all these other, you know, locations in the universe. So I really hope that they have that, not just Paris, because as good as Brotherhood was, that was just set in Rome, it does get kind of redundant staying in the same city after a while. I'd really like to see some variety. Maybe even go to another country, like I know, you know, in the Ezio trilogy, they had him go, not just in Assassin's Creed 2, but in Revelations, he went to other places. You know, he sailed, he went back to Masyaf, and he went to all these different locations like Constantinople. So I really hope that they implement that. There's not going to be any sailing in this game, no sailing mechanic. There has been another game that they said there's going to come out, codenamed Assassin's Creed Comet, or just Comet. I don't know where that's going to be, but it's going to be coming out for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, maybe PC, maybe Wii U, I don't know. So I'm really actually kind of excited to see what that is also. The French setting is an interesting choice. It was kind of expected if you watch all these. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, but if you watch all these videos about where they're guessing or people's opinions of where they think it's going to be, French Revolution is in the top 3 in pretty much every list. So I can't say it wasn't unexpected, but I am kind of disappointed. I mean, even though I'm part French, just tiny sliver of French in my blood, I think French history is incredibly boring. Pardon me, didn't mean to insult anyone or their heritage, but I don't know. I think French history is really boring. I don't think there's that. I mean, I know during the French Revolution it was a huge, huge, huge stepping stone in Western civilization and a huge breaking point. But I think Ubisoft would have had cooler stories in other locations. There wasn't as much ambiguity or mystery in the French Revolution as there was in, say, Renaissance Italy, where we had Ezio and there was all this mystery. Assassin's Creed 2 had great mystery and mythology in it. That's one of my favorite parts about Assassin's Creed, actually, is the ones that came before the first civilization and finding all these artifacts and all these pieces of Eden. I really, really love that element of the games. Now, I really hope that this part is in the game, because Assassin's Creed 4 really had kind of a boring story. I didn't feel too involved. It was about pirates, essentially, until the last little tiny sliver of the game. So I really hope that that isn't the case in this game. Assassin's Creed Unity. Well, let me talk about that title, because we have other Assassin's Creed numerical titles, like I mentioned. We have Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, 4, Black Flag, but there are some titles that have, they don't have numerical subtitles. So we have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations, and to an extent Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Now each of those with a subtitle, they have something to do with the game and what the game is essentially about. In Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, that was about Ezio and his struggle and his challenge and his path to joining the Brotherhoods together. And there's a small element of the game where you recruited assassins across Europe and you sent them on missions and all that, and you formed a brotherhood in Rome because Rome didn't have one, and you build this whole assassin safe house, I guess they call it, and you added the influence of assassins in Rome. And in Revelations, the subtext Revelations, you journey with Ezio and Altair and Desmond, and you find out more about, you have a revelation of sorts. You're discovering more things, so you learn about the apples of Eden, all these pieces of Eden, and how they tie together to the story and what you need to do to save the world and all that. In Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, it's kind of obvious. Black Flag means you're the pirate, and that was just a huge part of the story. That is the essential part of the story of Black Flag. So for Assassin's Creed Unity, I don't know what that means, actually. I'm guessing it means, obviously Unity means coming together. So we have our lone assassin. I didn't see any other major, there was the only character we really saw besides the crowd in the game. So it's just a little teaser trailer, but hopefully in future trailers we'll find out. But I'm guessing Assassin's Creed Unity means you bring people together, because this is set during the French Revolution. I'm guessing that you bring the people together to rebel against the corrupt wealthy and all that, and you're probably going to meet some famous people like Napoleon, Louis, Marie Antoinette, and all that. You're going to meet some famous characters like you do in every Assassin's Creed. So maybe, I'm guessing that you're going to take part in some kind of way in the beheading of King Louis. I think it was the 16th. I'm not too knowledgeable in French history, but I know for a fact that you're going to meet some famous French characters and all that. So I did like the assassin outfit. It was pretty cool, but I wish they kind of had it in white, because every single assassin that we played as so far had a costume in white. Besides, actually a few assassins haven't. Like we've had Aveline and Adewale in the Liberation and in Freedom Cry. So they weren't wearing white, but this guy's wearing like kind of a dark navy blue. Maybe he could be a sailor of some sorts. Who knows? There isn't too much information released, but I am really excited about this. So that was my trailer reaction. If you have any kind of questions or comments about the video, are you excited for it? Do you think they should have chosen something else? Do you think this is a good setting? Any kind of comments or any kind of thoughts, feel free to post. I'll try to answer your questions best I can. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Cheers.